This is kind of weird. And mind you, I'm not worried about these people in any way whatsoever because they are very well taken care of. But Kate, Kate, Kate. Kate has gone with the Groucho Marx eyebrows for some reason. Don't know why. But people are saying that, well, maybe she's trying to send a bit of a signal to Meghan because she's wearing the same outfit that she last wore when Meghan was at the cenotaph for the Remembrance Day. The reason why I think that is probably true, that either she's trying to mock the Duchess of Sussex, or she's sending a plea for help to the Duchess of Sussex, or maybe, I don't know what she's doing, but the hat doesn't really go with the military style coat dress that she's wearing. Totally wrong hat for that outfit. So the hat looks incredibly similar to the hat worn by the Duchess of Sussex. It says here, not really sure what to make of the Metro, the Times, the Daily Express, and Daily Mail. What's going on with the unflattering photos of Kate with her mouth askew? I couldn't read that without laughing. Sorry about that. But as you know, I have said quite a few times what's wrong with her mouth. So anyway, her mouth is her mouth is askew. But I think it's like she has a bit of a nervous tick and she just don't know what to do with it. So, but why in the world do they focus on Kate, the next queen consort of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and whatever territories, is Catherine's good buddy, Camilla Barker Bowles. That is the next queen consort, not Catherine. It's her buddy, or co-conspirator, or whatever you want to call her. But it's not it's not Catherine. So it gets better. I noticed something while making this video. How in the world did the Duchess of Cornwall get moved out to the périphérique, as they say in French? Why is she on the perimeter? Shouldn't she be center stage? How did that happen? Something odd is going on. I mean, the newspapers has already given Catherine the Great her position as the queen consort, but yet the actual queen consort and the reigning Princess of Wales officially is to her right instead of being center stage. What happened? When I post these, I'm going to block out which Twitter account they come from because, again, I don't want to make trouble for anybody. But this was a perfect nickname for Kate. Jazz Hands really had a face like thunder for part of today's Remembrance Sunday stuff. We have coverage on that and more tomorrow. Okay, so well, when she talks, sometimes Kate's hands are kind of flailing about all over the place. Well, she really does get into a little bit of Steve Fosse, So so Jazz Hands is perfect for Kate because, she's got all that jazz. Again, I think there's a bit of a nervous tick. But now if you read the tabloid headlines, because a lot of times, actually most times, I'm satisfied with the headlines. I don't really need to go into the story because you already know it's something that tries to build Kate up into something that she has never been and never will be. But, poor Kate, I don't know what's going on with her, but they said that what she wore for Remembrance Day was kind of like sending a signal to Meghan in some kind of way. So Meghan had a little more of a dramatic eyebrow and makeup for, I guess you would call it the smoky-eyed look that she had for what probably was her last Remembrance Day, or maybe it was one before that. But Meghan, of course, looked amazing. But with Kate, it's like she decided to take the eyebrow up a tick or two. And this is not the first time that there's been confusion about Catherine and her eyebrows, where she doesn't seem to know where she's going with it. So it looks very obvious that Catherine, who, believe it or not, I think is like the same age as Meghan, right? But yet very different. Anyway, they're the same age. I'm not going to get that shady. But but Catherine looks like Catherine. And anyway, it's alleged that Catherine is trying to send a signal to Meghan. But the tabloids always say that somebody's symbolically doing something. So how do we know? And so the other thing that's interesting about the cenotaph today, for those of you who are not on Twitter, but it just kind of jumped out at me. Okay, I want to reassure everybody that the Queen is very well. PM sends positive message after 95-year-old, I guess that's Prime Minister, 95-year-old monarch missed cenotaph service for the first time in 22 years with sprained back just weeks after shocked hospital stay. Yes, the sprained back. Now, this is going to go a whole nother direction because I don't know why. You know how sometimes when something just sticks out, when something jumps out at you and you don't understand what you're looking at, or you don't really know where a thing is going or something like that, but later on you're just like, oh, is that what I was looking at? Well, this is one of those things. The Queen seen for the first time since illness as she enjoys a solo drive around the Windsor estate. And okay, now they said the Queen has driven her Jaguar car in the grounds of Windsor Castle. Pick Shutterstock, and that's November 1st, 2021, right? That's who's credited with the photo. And so this is obviously some type of pool photo or source photo. But July 19th, 2021, the Queen has seen at Sandringham, her Norfolk home, returning there for the first time since Philip's death. Very similar photo. Almost identical photo. I don't see any difference in the two photos. And then, of course, there's one from September 9th, 2021. Queen supports Black Lives Matter. I cannot say that without laughing. But Queen supports Black Lives Matter, says senior royal representative Sir Ken Olisa, the first Black Lord Lieutenant for London, reveals he has talked about racism with the royal household, Queen Elizabeth II. So again, another similar photo. Boy, I tell you, when the squaddies have receipts, they have receipts. And then, of course, it's really interesting that Queen Elizabeth has been spotted driving around Windsor. The monarch, wearing sunglasses and headscarf, was alone in her Jaguar as she went for a drive. If you look closely, this pic is credited to Shutterstock. Okay, if she was just in the hospital for what potentially was something serious in that they needed to do tests and they kept her, How is it she managed to go out driving alone and within range of someone with a lens to take her photo? It just all seems very strange. It all seems very strange. And then, of course, you got the tabloids that have completely, removed Charles and Camilla from the front page. And the future of the monarchy, one of the most impressive human beings on 2 feet, Catherine the Great, suddenly takes center stage. And why? Not William, but Catherine. And why? So I'm not sure what all of this means. I just know that when I saw those photos the first time, I thought it was rather strange that the 95-year-old woman who had just gotten out of the hospital, so either she wasn't sick, which I tell you, I think she stayed behind from that thing in Glasgow just so that she could hang out with her bookie and put some money on some horses. That was my theory, and that she actually knew that the whole thing in Scotland was going to be an embarrassment, and she didn't want any parts of it. And don't forget, the last time the Queen went to Scotland, we all know what happened when she opened Parliament. She was booed on her way out, and that's something that, is very rare. But if it has ever happened before, but she was not very welcome, and the streets around the Parliament were basically empty. So, and that's the same Queen who jumped in a helicopter and flew away from the event as soon as the car found a place to park near the helicopter. So, yeah, I don't know what all of this means, but I just find it very strange. And then, poor Edward. Poor Edward. Edward, the cosplay prince, the person who spent 2 weeks in basic training and removed himself from it before he had any further embarrassment. The thing is, they said the poor guy was being bullied. I mean, they were kicking his behind up in that. Actually, he's been getting his behind kicked routinely his entire life. So he just doesn't want anybody to take notice of him under any circumstances. He just parks his Ford Fiesta and disappears into that massive house where they administer whatever royal duties that they may possibly ask them to do. But this poor guy is being completely swallowed by this uniform. I mean, you're supposed to wear the uniform, but instead the uniform is wearing him. I mean, he is being consumed. And when they said some poor woman in uniform collapsed at the cenotaph, fainted, hit the ground, and I thought, Edward? I'm telling you, if he tripped over that uniform, I would have to go to the hospital because I would probably tear my spleen trying not to laugh. For some reason, I just envision him tripping over that coat that's wearing him. And I got a feeling this, when he goes to take that thing off, it's just like the witch on the Wizard of Oz. Like he's just disappeared into this cloak that he's wearing. But very strange photo. I don't know why. Wear some thermal underwear and wear something a little shorter because he looks so frail and fragile, so insignificant. Poor guy. Whenever he cosplays, have you noticed that the same medals, the toy medals that everybody else wear, have you noticed that not really, but somehow the medals always look like they're cartoonishly large on him, as though they really don't belong on him, because they probably don't. But this poor guy, he seems like a nice person who just really wants to stay in the shadows And yet, because of the shortage of manpower in the royal family, he's being dragged out again and again. And I don't know whose coat that was, but it doesn't look like it belonged to him. It's huge, but I almost feel sorry for him. The whole thing with the family is very sad to watch, and it was very unnecessary for it to be in this situation or this state that it's in right now. But it all goes back to running away or pushing away the star player in the royal household, and that was Prince Harry. And then as Harry said in so many words, they had a great asset in the Duchess of Sussex, but they didn't see the wisdom of keeping someone around who could actually bring some type of relevance and popularity to the family. They decided that she needed to leave. They drove her out of the royal household. So everything that's happening to them right now, they asked for it. So you can only feel so much sympathy for them because they really asked for this place that they're in right now. And whatever's going on with the Queen, it is all rather strange. The Queen did have that television appearance during the event in Scotland, so apparently she's up and about and able to do things in Zoom call. But the thing about her driving around the estate, it looked strange then and it looks strange now. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.